Okay, everybody, I keep reading about it, so it must be true, and now I'm going to promote it, that chocolate is good for you. Apparently more than one research study has come up with the same conclusion, which basically is, and this is from a little blurb in Runner's World, written by nutritionist Matthew Cady. His blurb says, cocoa powder is rich in flavonoids, antioxidants that reduce blood pressure and cholesterol. They also protect skin against sun damage and lower blood levels of C-reactive protein, which is an indicator of heart disease or inflammation. Unlike dark chocolate, cocoa powder contains no added sugar and less saturated fat, so they recommend you use cocoa powder. And I want you to know that just because something is good for you, adding it to everything doesn't mean that it will help you. One, it may or may not. A lot of times in the studies, they use way more than you're going to consume. Second thing is, if you add things, you need to take other things out. Or you're just going to have this abundance of calories that you don't need, and you'll put on weight and wonder why you're putting on weight when you're eating so healthy. So, I'm going to take the peanut butter cookie recipe that's online, but I'm going to make another one. So the ingredients are cocoa powder, and they say not to use Dutch processed for some reason, but this is 100% pure cocoa, perfect for baking. I'm going to use Smucker's all-natural peanut butter. Use chunky or creamy, your preference, but it has to be Smucker's or the cookies will not turn out right. I don't know if that's true. Loose oat bran. All bran has to be original. And water. Start with 2 cups. We'll probably need more. Any brand of Splenda type sweetener. Don't use aspartame because you shouldn't heat that. And you're going to have 3 tablespoons of the peanut butter. And the original recipe of peanut butter cookies, a la Deirdre, call for 4. So one of these has about 100 calories. So now we're going to replace 100 calories of peanut butter with 100 calories of the cocoa. So the first step is 3 tablespoons of peanut butter in a microwavable bowl with 2 cups of water. Microwave it for 2 minutes, and then blend that peanut butter and water with about a ½ cup of Splenda or more with the beaters. So let me do that, and then I'll get right back to you. 3 tablespoons of peanut butter, a generous 2 cups of water, heat for 2 minutes, and then blend with a ½ cup of Splenda. Don't add the chocolate yet. Okay then, I have a bowl of peanut butter colored water now. And it's a little frothy because of the Splenda. The next thing to do is add a generous 2 cups of all bran cereal, and you're going to let this get moist. So 2 cups of the all bran, and move it around so it is all under the water. And then 1/4 cup of loose oat bran. Loose oat bran, not oatmeal, not steel cut oats. Oat bran. Now you can add your chocolate. 2 tablespoons of this unsweetened 100% pure cocoa has 30 calories. So I have a 2 tablespoon measure level here. So that's 2, 4, 6 whole tablespoons of chocolate. Only 90 calories, so that's replaced the 1 thing of peanut butter. Now this has to sit, and the cereal will be, the water will be absorbed into the cereal, and that's how you'll know it's ready. And then you mix it with the beaters, but I have a ½ cup of water here to see if I'm going to need it. So I'm going to set my timer for 5 minutes, because I usually just go about my business and don't really pay any attention, but I'm doing this for you guys, so I'm going to let it set for 5 minutes, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, the mixture set in the water for 5 minutes. and I haven't done anything yet. I'm going to bring the camera over so you can see what it looks like before and after I mix it, and whether or not I add water. And as I've said with the other peanut butter cookie recipe, you control how thick or thin the cookies will be based on the water that you add. If you add too much water, when you go to bake them, they'll burn, they'll be too thin, they'll have like, you'll see like bubbles in them, and they'll be too thin. They can be, you know, plump almost, or flat. I make mine more flat and crisp. And also, as I've said, I bake them in the oven at 375. They're fantastic coming out of the oven. They're not good room temperature or cold. So when you have them as a snack, heat them in your toaster oven for 1 to 2 minutes, you know, just put it on toast for, you know, the light setting. And they'll have 20 calories each still. So I'm gonna bring the camera over to the food and off of me. This makes 40 20-calorie cookies with a 1/8 of a cup measure is how I measure them out. Again, you control that. If they're thin or thick, big or small, but if you make them into 40 cookies, then you have the 20 calorie. You can certainly have a 40 or a bigger calorie cookie if you want. This is totally in your control. That's what I like to do so much, is give you the means to make this something you control, not something the food manufacturers control. Okay, that's before mixing. In my opinion, it needs a little bit more water, maybe a 1/4 cup. Personal preference. I'll scrape it from the sides also. Get all that cocoa in there. Really smells good. Chocolatey. I want to show you how I put them on the pans as well. Okay, looks like the pan is in range. So I'm going to put 12 on this sheet. 4, 8, 12. Then I'm going to put 8 on this one and 20 on this one. See, they spread out a little bit when you put them on your tray. So it's totally based on how much liquid you put in, what size your cookies are going to be. But they will be delicious and chocolatey, and that will help your antioxidants. I'm sorry, I don't think I mentioned this. So I've got my cookies all on the trays, and I'm going to bake them in the oven. I set the timer, it's at 375. I set it for 20 minutes, and then I check them. Sometimes I rotate them, switch shelves. You just have to keep an eye on them. So first 20 minutes, and then you might do 5 minutes from there on out. I guess the same way you cook regular cookies. It's been so long, I don't remember. But just at least 20 minutes, and then you want to watch them. And if, like I have some pans, if they don't come off easily, that means they're still not done in the middle. So you know your pans. And the first batch you make might not come out right. I think somebody already told me that about the other peanut butter cookies, but keep trying. I have my cookies in for 25 minutes, and there's still some in there because they don't finish at the same time. So that's what I was going to show you. Like, these are coming off easy, and the ones in the middle of this particular pan are not done yet. So I'll just stick them back in. And I think, no, that whole tray's not done either. Let me bring the camera over though so you can see this a little bit better, and then that's it. I'm done filming the chocolate peanut butter cookie recipe. You're on your own. You can put them in the toaster oven after. Very chocolatey.